Hi, everybody. So we
Hello,
are back,
everybody.
and
We're already starting off. We're already starting off with this now, aren't we? we had a cat take earlier. I'm not filming in my usual space, and the cat walked by, and his tail flicked along the screen, and she's been dying laughing since.
but it was first he walked behind JL, and I was like, "Oh, kitty!" And I was just like, "I'm glad we weren't filming."
Mm.
That was so squirrel brain in so many ways. Ooh, and then he walked over, and the tail went to the camera. I'm trying not to. Okay, this is a serious book we're talking about, Rachel. Let's be an adult and stop giggling. All right.
Is it though? Is it really though? Because I mean, with an author like this, like, can we take it seriously? Because let's un momento. Keep them entertained a moment.
Let's see if the kitty comes back. Kitty will take over as my co-host. But yeah, like, oh, my head hurts. I'm just like, we were just about to start the show, and then Kitty just literally walked past. I was so fucking squirrel brain. But yeah, we got thoughts to say on this. I particularly have thoughts. I'm going that like, but there are things that, yeah, there are things. I'll be honest with you. How the fuck do you people read this? How? Please explain it to me. Because reading after there were so many things. I'm trying to wait for her before I go into anything too detailed, but we got notes. Oh, I hit my microphone. I'm sorry. Please don't do that. So, how is everybody? The one person that's here watching. Hello. I know who you are. Yep. As I was typing it. Hi, Square.
Hi, Square. Okay, so before we get into our shenanigans with the book that we're talking about, let's take a moment to talk about the author and realize that she put forth this book here. And this book
Infamous
here
book.
is now being. I watched the film too, y'all. So this is what I think of this. Instead of making it a real story, especially moving for people who have gone through DV, the story that was clearly about DV, and putting that piece of art into the big screen with major headline people to helm as the director and actors of this film for a very important story and cause to fuck it up this bad. The story now is never going to be remembered as that of someone who survives domestic violence. It's now and forever going to be tainted as the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively court case over what happened while they were filming on the set and now their activities and blah blah blah. Colleen Hoover lining her pockets and blah 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 blah. No offense, Colleen Hoover, but this is just my take on everything that's been going on with this shit right now. Apologies for any kind of offense to any Coho fans here, but personally, I can't
I've
stand this woman.
personally, I was instructed whenever we first started like getting books together to do this pod. I was instructed to get some of the Colleen Hoover books, and I have a few of them. I actually have the one book that she was just holding up somewhere in the depths of one of these bookshelves that I have. And I'll be honest with you, having read this book, I'm good. I don't need to read any of the others. I was ready to DNF this after chapter 2. I actually texted her and I was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. Like, I want to DNF.
Now, granted, me, myself, and I have read this one all the way through. This was the only one of her books I was able to get through because it wasn't like this. It was more so of like a thriller base. So it was kind of more like, for me, it was like, kind of like in the pace. Well, I guess if you want to compare it to like a film wise, not very well written film. I mean, it was a decent book, decent read. I'll give it that. But it reminded me of the pacing of when they turned Gone Girl into a film.
See that again? I can't help you with that because I don't know Gone Girl. I was not from that
Gone
generation.
Girl was supposed to be is a really, really popular, really good book. It's a psychological thriller, and they
Oh,
messed
wait a
up
minute.
the movie bad.
You're talking about the Casey Affleck thing. I thought you were talking about that's Gossip Girl. That's the TV series. I'm so fucking old.
No, I'm talking about the
Yeah,
Casey Affleck
Casey.
movie. Yeah,
I
that one.
actually saw that. I actually liked that. I thought that was a very well done film. Like, I don't know why the Afflecks do anything other than like serious drama or suspense films.
Oh,
Like, why do you do anything but that? You do it really well. Stop
and
fucking
by the way,
around.
did you know that Ben Affleck is getting ready to release The Accountant 2?
Well, I mean, his wife did just lose like $630 million on her little
I thought they were
film.
exes now.
Huh?
I thought they were soon to be exes again.
Again? Jesus Christ. Make up your fucking mind, dude. Roll
I
the
don't
dice.
know. I can't keep up with the tabloids
Okay,
nowadays.
so
It's
anyhow, we're talking when it's coming into
sorry, squirrel
references.
brain side quest here, people.
When we're talking in reference to it ends with us. So for those of you who don't know, I don't know how you couldn't know, but for those of
I
you,
don't know how you're not aware because it's all over
yeah,
mainstream media. It's all over TikTok. It's all over YouTube. It's all over the drama channels. It's literally everywhere.
Square's like, yes, here for accountant too. Squirrel. But squirrel. But I've not read that book. This is the only Colleen Hoover I've come into contact with. But I will say, from everything that I have learned, got really loud there. Everything that I have learned, I will tell you two things. Number one, I still think that sometimes when books are created into films, you need to let the author have more control over how it is done than have an independent person go through it and pick out the best parts and then piece it together with their own image. Don't think that's what I don't think that's what Justin Baldoni was trying to do, but because I've seen 5 Feet Apart. 5 Feet Apart that he wrote and produced, brilliant fucking movie. Love it. It was done perfectly. It was sensitive, it was accurate, it was very
Wait,
well put together.
Baldoni did 5 Feet Apart?
Yeah. His wife was even in it. When she was pregnant, she stars as one of the characters.
Oh, okay. So he actually is a good director.
He is a good
And
director,
I,
and
I've seen him and I've seen him as an actor, and I liked him as an actor. Previously, I loved him
I've
in
never
Jane the
seen him as an
Virgin.
actor. I've never seen him as an actor, just as a director. And as a
I've seen him
director,
as an actor. He's a very good actor, especially when I was watching him in Jane the Virgin.
see,
Good show.
another show I haven't
Good
watched.
show.
But I mean, I will say this much: I loved 5 Feet Apart, the movie. I love the book. We're going to be actually reading the first 5 chapters of the book for one of the tropes. But from what I gather about this book and about its particular content, having witnessed and been a part of DV personally, I don't think it was done with the same seriousness that it should have been. Like, Blake seemed, and I'm not trying to shit all over Blake Lively. God knows everybody else has done it. I don't really need to pile on. But I will say this much. Having seen some of the things that have come out, and her behavior towards people, my opinion is vastly different than what it was before. This woman, like, just hang up the career now, sweetie. You don't
Like,
need to try to
get your
have it.
friends, get your florals, and come see It Ends With Us like it's supposed to be some romantic comedy movie. Girl, you are in the wrong marketing field. Baldoni set up a whole site specifically of resources to help victims of domestic violence because of this. When he got the rights and everything, he was doing his due diligence to make sure he was telling this story properly. Then she fucked
I
it up.
Yeah, I don't think that, I mean, how much do you really know about who somebody is in Hollywood? How do you really know how much about them? Like, there are people who let you see about this much, and there are very few actors that have that are who they are. Like, one of the best examples I can give, fucking Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher didn't give a fuck. She was just like, "I am who I am, and if you don't like it, bye." Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
just her attitude. And it was perfect because it was authentic and it was genuine, and she just didn't care what you thought. She'd lived the predominant portion of her life being put under strictures. Now, Blake being a nepo baby, I think we very clearly saw where privilege took over with
Mm-hmm.
priority and actually I
Especially,
don't, the one scene that I did see, I haven't seen the movie, but the one scene that was out there as like a teaser trailer was her after she's given birth to the kid and they're sitting on the bed and she's saying, "I want a divorce because what would you do if she comes home and tells you that her person is hitting her?" That is a very tense moment.
yeah,
And and
I
the
remember watching
way
that.
the way she behaved in that portrayal of that moment did not ring as genuine to me. You're sitting there holding your child that you've just given birth to, and you're gonna fucking sit next to the person that's your domestic violence attacker, and you're gonna be like, "I want a divorce." Are you trying to get yourself killed? Like, what woman on the fucking planet that has been beat to death left and right fucking sits in a hospital room with an infant in your arms and then decides, "This is the moment to tell him I'm leaving"? No!
There's a reason why. There's a reason why it was done that way, and I can tell you exactly the reason why it was done that way.
It may have been done for a reason,
I,
but it
I,
don't make a
I know, I
fucking lick
know,
of
I know
sense.
you're not going to agree with it, but this is why, psychologically speaking, this is why it was done that way. When they they had the baby, they conceived and everything.
Mhm.
She, in the mindset of a parent, that child becomes that parent's entire world.
Yeah.
So, in his eye, that child is his entire world. And that's when it gives him that reality check of, or at least in the synapse of what they're portraying in the film. In
Well,
what they're portraying in the film. In what they're portraying in the film. He has this synapse click of, I really fucked things up now. So he just walks away. He walks away from everything. They get the divorce finalized. Where the fuck does that even come to being an actual thing? Because
I
I agree with you. That's not a real thing. That's
I
not an
do
actual
not
thing that would happen
I
in the
vehemently
film.
do not like, are we side quest? No, we're introing to, maybe, I don't know. This may be a side quest. I don't know.
We're
Follow
in
along.
the Colleen Hoover universe,
We're discussing
kind of
elements
discussing.
around what stories are what stories. But essentially, like, I will tell you this much from the knowledge that I have of It Ends With Us versus coming into this book. This woman seems to have a very unhealthy fixation with domestic violence or violence in general. Because this, knowing that It Ends With Us is a DV book, knowing this is a DV book, is there anything this woman has written that does not deal with domestic violence? Like,
Apparently, there
and
are.
the thing, I will be honest with you, the thing that pissed me off the most about this is that in this book, whenever I started flipping through it, one of the first things I went to was a lot of the times with the books, there'll be a resources page in the background, like either next to the author page in the back or in the front that says, you have these resources available to you if you want to reach out, if you are struggling with this, and this. A lot of people do it in books with references to addiction
Like
and things like
like
that.
hotline numbers to reach out. Oh wait,
N-
yeah, there is. Yeah, there is.
where? Where? Is that in the back?
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, that's and it ends with this.
Yeah, not in Verity. They're not in Verity.
Okay, my
No.
fault, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that they're in one of her books, but still, this one of all books, not
It's
this one?
probably in the sequel too. Called It Starts With Us. But I mean,
But
there
I mean,
she has several books out that cover several different topics and everything too. And I'm just like, sweet summer child, need another hobby.
like, we'll put it this way. Like, I know this may be a very popular book among some people in book talk. I know this may be a very popular book with some people that read it and loved it, and that's good. Love what you love, read what you love. That's fine.
I somewhat enjoyed it. I somewhat enjoyed it personally myself. I'm planning to go see the film once it comes out because I have to. Like Anne Hathaway, love her. Josh Arnett, love him. Dakota
I
Johnson, she's a meh. But then again, that's also because of my opinion of her from 50 Shades of Grey. She's a meh.
this right here literally is the moment that I told JL, no, I can't do this. No. Uh so he's walking her across the street after the guy gets pancaked in front of her and she ends up wearing his entrails. She is walked
Ah,
across
yeah.
the street by Jeremy, the main male character, into a coffee shop to clean up. And even in shock, she doesn't protest when he leads her into the men's room, not the women's room. And when he leads her into the women's room, like, let's see, I'm trying to find the exact point. He heads for the door, but instead of giving me privacy while I stand here in my least attractive bra, he locks us inside the bathroom so no one will walk in on me while I'm shirtless. It's disturbingly chivalrous and leaves me feeling uneasy. I'm tense as I watch him through the reflection in the mirror. Someone knocks. Be right out, he says. Okay, number one, somebody fucking explain to me how you can be disturbingly chivalrous. What the fuck does that even mean? Those two things are contradictory terms. You can't be disturbingly chivalrous. That's not a thing. You can't word like that. Words don't word like that. And but then goes, oh, but he's disturbingly chivalrous, but then goes, but it makes me a wee bit uneasy. Yeah, you don't know a random person that has now directed you across traffic into a non-disclosure place that you've never been, and instead of allowing you or directing you towards a room where you could have privacy, has locked you into the men's room, and after somebody's knocked, has said, in just a minute. Like, I told JL, I was like, this is red flag all over the fucking place. This was code, like as soon as I got to that point, I was like, oh, so it's that kind of a book. So you're basically a predator. Because that is literally what a predator does. He separates you from the public or from people that can see you. He takes you somewhere private. He then makes you feel slightly comfortable and then locks you in and doesn't let you the fuck out. And then if somebody tries to interrupt, just a minute, and makes it sound like, you know, but the whole disturbingly chivalrous, like, come on. That, like, of all terms to try to describe what that man was doing, how is it chivalrous at all that he brought you into the men's room, locked you into the men's room, and then is standing there in front of the door? Like, me personally as a woman, I mean, an SA survivor, but that guy doing that would have scared the shit out of any other woman. Be honest, JL. If what had happened to you had happened and some random person walked up, grabbed you by the shoulder, directed you into a coffee shop, and then instead of directing you towards a place where you could have privacy, he pulled you into the men's room and locked you inside. Would you would you feel comfortable? Or would you be like, I think this is the bear or the man scenario, and I would choose the man. I mean, the bear.
Well, if we're taking Shane out of the equation, yeah, pick the bear.
Yeah, it just it's literally like verbatim red flag. So, but the way she skewed it is what turned me off right off the bat was disturbingly chivalrous. And then she starts to go on further and talk about how sexy he is or how appealing he looks or how attractive he is and how it's odd to her that she finds herself attracted to him. And I'm just like, why? In a million
Well,
goddamn years, why?
well, think about this too. Think about this in an aspect. Why do we find Zayd Meadows attractive?
That's different.
Why do we find essentially why do we find Zayd attractive then? If that's
Zayd,
the case.
Zayd is honest about what he is. He comes out right at the jump
Not
and
in the
tells
beginning.
you what he is.
Not in the
Huh?
very beginning. Not in the very beginning.
He doesn't trap her in the beginning. He doesn't trap her in a place in the beginning.
No.
This is first
But
meeting. This is first meeting off of the street. But then also, as we later go on to find out, this guy is the one that she's meeting for the book meeting that she's headed to when the guy gets pancaked in front of her. This guy, Jeremy Crawford is the character's name. That I'm sorry. I'll just say it right now. No offense to any Jeremys out there that may be good people, but every Jeremy I've ever met has just been a complete total dick. So, I don't know. Jeremy
in
Renner's not
character
one
and in real life?
in real life.
No, I'm
I
talking
will
about
say
in
this,
character
Jeremy
and
Renner
in
is
real
not a
life.
dick. Jeremy Renner is a gloriously beautiful man, and I think he is a national treasure and should be protected.
Oh no,
But
I was talking about Jeremy Gilbert.
no comment. I'm gonna have enough people pissed off at me about this book. But I just the fact that he
Hang on once. Keep going. Keep going. Sorry.
the fact that he was behind her, saw her, knew who she was. He knew who she was when he found her on the sidewalk. He literally knew who the fuck the main female character, Lowen, was on sight. So, is he following her? Is that how he knew who she was, where she was coming from? It's too coincidental for it to not be something that was sinister. Essentially, like it to me, based off of just him locking her in the bathroom, he was following her. He knew what she looked like on sight, so he knew whenever he saw her get splattered, perfect opening. He went straight to her, no hesitation, no introduction, nothing. Nothing. Just went up, random ass person, grabbing her by the shoulder and directing her into a locked room. On the head of itself, random man taking woman who is in shock out of a public place into a private area and locking her in. Tell me that doesn't sound like the beginning of a Dateline fucking story. Like, really?
It does.
So,
It
based off
does.
of that, I was just like, no. If you're trying to glorify and beautify the concept that women can't be intelligent enough to realize this is predatorial behavior, I can't support that. Because any woman, I challenge any fucking woman to go out into public and have something like this happen to you and then tell me you were fine with it. because it's a lie. No woman anywhere is going to have some random ass man walk up to her, grab her, pull her into a different building, and then lock her into a fucking room and then stand in front of the door. It's not just only that he locked the door, he stood in front of it the whole fucking time. He wasn't going to let her out until he was ready to let her out. No, thank you. You can keep that shit to yourself, madam. I don't want that. I have enough of psychological torture as it is. I don't need any more. Like it. I
You're
I
not kidding.
I read the 5 chapters, and I'll be honest with you, those are the worst 5 chapters of anything I've ever read, and I will never read this book. As soon as this show is over, this book, along with all of the others, will be donated somewhere. Don't know where, but they will not live in my home because I just can't. It infuriated me to like because of the stuff going on with this it ends with us. It's knowing that and knowing the way the DV is shaped in that plot and then coming in and reading this, I was like, how is she somehow romanticizing violence or predatorial behavior or something like that? How is it always like she literally says, like verbatim, he was disturbingly chivalrous. What does that mean? Disturbingly chivalrous. Chivalry is somebody doing something out of a standard or out of a cultural norm that's meant to, portray that they have high standards. Uh, you can't have something like that be disturbing and have it still have the same context. It doesn't work that way. Words don't word like that. So
Now, as we said before, if y'all love her, please do
love,
not let
love.
us dissuade you from you loving the books you read. This is just our opinions. Everything that is going on in the media and everything and all that is alleged until it has been found either in guilty, liable, non-liable in the court of law, which that's not be even decided until next year.
Yeah,
So
we're going like me personally, I haven't read the book. So I'm going off of first interaction with any form of media that deals with this woman. Did I know about the controversy of It Ends With Us? Yes. Do I have thoughts and opinions on that? Yes. But the thoughts and opinions I have on that are not what shaped my opinion and thought of this book. It was the
mm,
content of this book and the characters and the way they are portrayed and the way they act. It is within the first 2 chapters. No, it may be in the first chapter. You've got your character being put into we are told as women, as little girls, stranger danger, right? That's the first thing you're taught as a little girl, stranger danger. Don't let a stranger take you. Don't go in any place with somebody you don't know. And yet, this woman who is an agoraphobic, first time out in public for months, just is okay with a random ass stranger grabbing her and taking her into a room and locking her in. Have you met an agoraphobe? Because I'm fairly certain that an agoraphobe, if you fucking touch them, they're gonna lose their shit.
well, in given context, see the reason why the agoraphobe went even in that matter probably was also because she was still kind of going through the adrenaline of the experience that she had of someone who was literally pancaked by a truck in front of her and she's covered in blood.
Yes,
Bring up
let's also
some.
thank Miss Colleen Hoover for the lovely description of the sound of the man's head popping like a cork out of a champagne bottle. I'll never be able to drink champagne again without thinking about splattered brains. Thank you so much, Colleen.
I'll wait till you get back into reading some more of what is it? Butcher and Blackbird. You're not gonna look at cookies and cream ice cream the same way ever again.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not going to be psychologically well once I go through all of this. All of this is going to leave a mark.
Quite a few of these books that we have Lay it out. Yeah.
Oh, and let's not forget, we still have to go. We're going back to the Ravenhood at some point. Because I never did finish line, so now I have to read all of them all over again because I've forgotten the majority of them. My brain kind of blocks it out. The one thing I can't forget, Dominic. I
Mm,
cry every time it rains.
yeah.
But
We had something pretty exciting happen, and we're going to be covering an episode on said exciting thing that happened eventually here. And I kind of prepared her that there was going to be some emotional damage that's happening in those two. Look, y'all, I don't pick them. Okay, they're like they find me, and they have this thing of just grabbing me by my heart and just
I think JL likes torturing me just a wee bit because just about every book she has ever suggested has caused me severe mental duress.
I'm just giving you a taste of all the shit I went through.
It I'm not gonna lie, every single one of them has been a roller coaster. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, the Ravenhood thing, yeah, that was
Yeah.
traumatic in ways. But
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. There's gonna be a character in one of the books that comes up that we're gonna talk about that. Oh, it hurt. It hurt bad. Like,
I
I
won't say too
mean,
much. I still don't
there
like
was,
Tobias.
huh?
I still don't like Tobias.
Yeah, I know you don't, which I don't understand why.
Fuck
You're
Tobias.
one to, well, no, I understand why you don't like him because you haven't read the third book yet.
I'll be honest with you, even after I read the third book, I'm still not gonna like him. Sean, it was Sean or Dominic. Those were my two men. And I'll be honest with you, and she knows this. Dominic, in my opinion, is the one that I would go after because I have a weakness for men like that, with that mentality and that kind of ambiance. But Sean's the one I would marry. Sean's the one I would have stayed with, hands down, because he's my sunshine. He's my sweetheart. Like if you there could not be a pure like to give you a reference on just like the aesthetics. Not like, what okay, the feel, the vibe. If you want to go by vibe for physical representation, Stuart Mackey and Tyler James. Tyler is the epitome of what Dominic would represent, like the dark, broody, mysterious dude that's just
By
like
looks.
sarcastic. Yeah, we're not like comparing full on. He's my Reese. He'll always be my Reese. Stuart is literally Sean. All he does is laugh and joke, and he loves being outside. He has this
He's
great
basically the
love for
golden retriever puppy.
yes. That's literally what Stuart is. If you need a physical representation of the vibe of those two men, that's what you get. But I mean, Sean is just Sean is the guy that most women would look at and be like, there's nothing, there's like no spice. There's nothing exciting that happens there. You know what? I'm 40 fucking years old, bitch. I'm good with no fucking excitement or shocking revelations. Like just give me a good, reliable motherfucker that's not gonna beat the out of me and I'm good. Like, please.
And we went off again.
Yeah, sorry. That's what emotional trauma does to Rachel. We dig up all sorts of feelings and then they come out and we don't stop them. So let's do a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you rate it?
On just 1 through 5.
I said 1 through 10.
Oh, 1 through no. On chapters 1 through 5.
Okay. Based off of chapters 1
Because
through
that's all
5.
you read. I read the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah,
Difference.
I'm just saying, if based off of what you read, what chapters 1 through 5, if you had to rank it from 1 to 10, what would you rank it? Because
On
remember, we're
just
basing our opinion off of what we've read, not the whole book.
off of just the first 5 chapters, I probably would give it at least a 4.
Are we reading the same book?
Okay, you got to remember, my kind of reading, your kind of reading, not very
Yes.
much the same. So we do have some differences in our opinions there, and we both agreed with that.
That
I
is
was
true. JL
because
JL has been, like, bringing me into different versions, different types of writing. Like, in the beginning, because I started off with ACOTAR, I kinda stayed with ACOTAR, but then I got thrown into hunting animals.
yeah,
And, let's just say I went from one addiction to another very quickly. Very quickly. Like, the predominant portion of everything I have is that themed.
yes, JL or Jules, whatever you're gonna call me, has an affinity for fantasy, romance, historical fiction. Let's see here. What's some other ones that I
We
like?
need to do, like, a full shelf walkthrough of all of our books and stuff like
Honey,
that at
I
some
gotta
point.
get the rest of my books out of storage first for me to be
Yeah,
able to
you're
do a
gonna like,
full.
before you go get the ones out of storage, your ass better go buy another fucking bookshelf for the 6 other boxes I got sitting here staring at me.
Oh, yes, because we've now started a thing on my TikTok called "What Did the Reaper Reap for Me This Time?" If you haven't watched it, it's on my TikTok account. Yeah, so she is gone to Ollie's, and she will get books for herself, and she will get copies for me, and she'll put them in boxes. But with her ADHD brain over here, she forgets what books were in the boxes. So it's a surprise for either one of us to find out which box I got this time.
It's like a monthly book subscription that she doesn't have to pay for, but she also can't tell what the fuck's in it.
So
It's like
I
a
don't
blind
know.
date book subscription.
I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what I'm getting my hands on.
I will say this, 1 or 2 of the boxes that are on top are the heaviest, so lift with your legs, not your back.
Good to know.
Hey, man, I had to, like, I had to get it. That didn't sound right.
I'm about to say you might want to stop.
I am the living embodiment of the double entendre. But,
Yeah,
so
yeah. We stopped hanging out with Wade a long time ago after all this drama went down.
oh,
Cause
I still love Wade. I am not gonna sign off on my Deadpool. I love my pool. I love my pool boy. Just because somebody that that sounded so desperate housewife of me. I love my pool boy. For that I just snorted.
no, that was not Desperate Housewives. That was Real Housewives.
No. For those of you who are new here or watching this on the rewatch, yes, I am completely and totally unhinged. Welcome to the show. There's no excuse for me or explanation either.
No, not for either of us.
So, like, obviously I'm gonna rate out of like 1 to 10. I'm gonna rate this. I'm not even gonna rate it. I'm DNF it. I won't even give it a rating because I will say one thing. There was something funny about my copy versus JL's copy where
Oh
I
yes. Go through it. Go through it.
you see the tabs, like the little blue sticky notes. This was a used copy that I bought when I was on vacation, and there are parts of it that are marked in ink pen, like, the person that had this book had thoughts, like, lots of thoughts, like, they highlighted that one right there for some reason, but I'll read the sticky notes first off. Let me make sure I can find the first one. Okay, where's the first one? Where are you? Because there's quite a few of them in here. Eh, eh, eh. Good lord. Okay, I think that's the first one. She hates her babies, calling it right now. What the hell? See? She like but I'm not interested in speaking about a woman who chose never to speak of me again. I'm here to discuss the first thing my baby ever stole from me, Jeremy. She hates her babies, calling it right now.
Yeah, that is an accurate statement.
Okay. So the first blue sticky note says, "There's literally no way. Oh my god, this woman is foul." Okay. Then directly after that, there's another one down at the bottom that says, "Oh my god, this woman is foul. To be upset over attention so much that you wanted to abort your children." Like,
Yeah, yeah, that was a thing.
like I said, this woman had thoughts and feelings, and she was not shy about expressing them throughout this entire book. There are whole pages of like shit where she has underlined or drawn around things, and I'm just like, okay, all right, tell me how you really feel. Oh, there are yellow
If
ones too.
if you're planning on getting rid of that book, send it to me because I want to read the rest of all the funny bits that are in there just for giggles.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
gonna
I'd find
find that.
that more
They have
entertaining than the book itself.
I have to read this one though. At the beginning of chapter 6, which is like I guess Verity's book or something, it had
Mm-hmm.
been 6 months since they were born, and I still wish they didn't exist. This woman is psycho. Is literally what she wrote. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
wow. Like this woman, like I wish I knew who owned this book. That I just flashed by and saw something satanic cult. I smell a love connection. What book? So many things. There's another one. This woman is nasty. It's not about him loving you or the babies more. She should be so lucky. Wow. Wait a minute. What did that say? Back the fuck up. Oh, fuck this book forever. Fuck it into the fucking ground.
What?
Miscarriages were just as easy to fake as pregnancies. Fuck you, Colleen Hoover. Right now. Those books are coming off of that fucking shelf and they will leave my house. I have had 2 miscarriages in my life. So, hitting that, I'm done. Yeah. No. No, 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 no. Like, I cannot. That there is no excuse for that. None whatsoever. You talk about faking a fucking miscarriage. I hate to break it to you. Okay, I'm fine, I'm fine. There's a yellow one. Oh my god, they're like, okay, I mean, I guess she was really excited for that moment. So, I mean,
It took them forever.
yeah, apparently. Uh, she killed Harper or let her drown. I know that Harper's one. She is foul, disgusting, tramp like, horrendous, greedy sociopath. Damn. Like I said, this woman had feelings. Like, there was another one I saw way back here. Where is it? Oh my god. Like, th- then there's all of these. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So apparently, like, her sleuthing paid off. But there were so many of these sticky notes that I came across whenever I pulled this book off of the shelf again. And I was talking to JL about it. I was like, the woman who had this book had thoughts, and she was
Mm-hmm.
not shy about them.
I
But
want to read more of these thoughts.
okay, that was the last sticky. But yeah, based off of that one little thing above that other sticky that I saw, yeah, fuck that. No. I am sorry. I had a miscarriage at 6 weeks and a miscarriage at 5 months. So anybody who wants to compare a fake pregnancy to a fake miscarriage can go. That's how I feel about that. Sorry, not sorry. Like Why is that something in that book? I mean, I understand it's probably dealing with story content or something, but if you have a book that is already setting up your main male character as a predator, then you add in DV, and then you add in a child's death that's suspicious in nature, then you add in an affair. Now that there's too much in that book that is triggering. Are there trigger warnings in the front of yours? Because mine had the front page ripped out, so if there were trigger warnings, I didn't know. You warned me about the domestic violence and stuff. There aren't, are there? Not a fucking one.
This
Oh,
book was,
Colleen.
now, mind you, also, not making an excuse for her, the book was copyright written 2018, and the real big push for trigger warnings in books didn't really start really hitting the market until like after that. So there wasn't as big of like sensitivity watches and everything like that for books back in that time. So not every book is going from predating 2020 back. We'll have trigger warnings for things like that. So
This
I
was
do
given a
apologize for
Goodreads
my.
award for best romance in 2019. The fuck are you people smoking? So the trigger warnings that I found just because I Googled trigger warnings from booktriggerwarnings.com, it says, stop that. Go away. Abortion, cheating, child abuse, graphic, child death, infanticide, oh,
Infanticide.
infanticide. Yeah, there. Thank you. Violence, attempted murder, murder, self harm, and grief. Colleen, just a slight like little sidebar here, sweetie. You might want to go to your publisher and maybe start putting trigger warnings in your books if you're going to start doing this shit to us. Okay. Good talk, sweetie.
Let me see on this one.
There better be in that one. If there isn't, then fuck. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna
2016. Nope.
yeah, so apparently 4 books are gonna be leaving my home very soon. Ugh. Okay. So I have It Ends With Us. It Starts With Us.
None in that one.
And then of him. Reminders of him. So we're looking for
It
trigger
might be,
warnings.
there may be some in It Starts With Us, because It Starts With Us came out around COVID time.
Not a single fucking resource in this book at all. Not a single fucking one. This book,
There
I'm
is in
not gonna
this
lie,
one.
the condition that it's in, it looks like somebody tried to wad it up and throw it in the garbage. But no trigger warnings in this. It Starts With Us, which this one also has written pieces in it and tabbies if you want to read the funniness of that.
Yeah. Send me that one too.
Okay, wait a minute. This book is a sequel to It Ends With Us and begins right where the first book concluded. For the best reading experience, It Starts With Us should be read second to the book 2 series. After releasing It Ends With Us, I never imagined I would one day be writing a sequel. I also never imagined that the book would be received as it has been by so many. I am so grateful to all of you who found Lily's story to be as empowering as I find my own mother's. After It Ends With Us gained momentum on TikTok, I was inundated with requests for more Lily and Atlas. And how could I possibly deny a community that has changed my life? This novel is written as a thank you for the tremendous support, and because of that, I want to deliver a much lighter experience. Like, nothing. No. I hope this isn't like the reviews.
Is it the same handwriting?
Yep.
Wait, what?
I think it's Deniner or something. I don't know what it says.
This isn't. I can't read it.
Yeah, that is. I love how it says ass light. But yeah, there's no. There are little tabs throughout the entirety of it, and lots of notes and underlining. But that there was something. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, like there's so many things tabbed in here, and like written in.
Good Lord.
I'm sorry. I like the fact that these women wrote in these books. Period. That's the best part. Looking through them and uncovering all the shit they wrote. But okay, yeah, no resources listed. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. It ends with us. This is almost a brand new copy.
That one has them. It's in the back of the book before the acknowledgement.
But then, are you fucking kidding me? If you are a victim of domestic violence or know someone who could use assistance in leaving a dangerous situation, please visit www.thehotline.org. For a list of resources for homeless individuals, please visit www.homelessresourcenet.org. And then beneath that, to listen to music created specifically for this novel, visit www.colleenhoover.com /portfolio /it ends with us /. She literally put a fucking playlist after resources for homelessness and domestic violence. Somebody needs to give this woman a clue, because
Why do you think she's off social media right now?
so many who's the fucking publisher of this shit?
Atria. Atria published the It Ends With Us. Verity is under the Grand Central Publishing.
This is under Montelake. How many different fucking publishers has she had? Is that not bad to see an author who's danced from one publisher to another publisher to another publisher? Is that not like a red flag?
She apparently can't keep a contract. Ladder only agreed for her to have only one book. I don't know. That's speculation, folks.
I don't know. This is a brand new copy, though. If you want it, I'll send it to you, and you can give it to Shane's sister or something, or you can burn it in the burn pile, whichever you prefer. But yeah, like the fact that none of this doesn't, I'm going to go ahead and say this doesn't, because there's no, that rain is not a resource that's listed. You know, the suicide hotline is not listed. Nothing that would apply to a book with DV in it is included in this. You gave 2 resources that are, like, probably websites that people wouldn't even think to go to, and then you put a playlist underneath those. That I like, now I understand the whole premise why people were like, "She put out a fucking coloring book for this
Yeah.
book." I just oh, why? 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 So many whys. Like, I D Anne Hathaway, Dakota Johnson, run, run, save your careers.
Hmm.
Like, Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ. Like, I'm sorry. All of these will be leaving my home. I I I told JL at first that her style of writing is not necessarily for me. However, it's more than not it's more than not my style or flavor because I mean, there are so many things. Like one thing, let me ask you this. How can a man have chartreuse eyes? Because that's what Jeremy's eyes are described as. Like as like I'm looking to see what chartreuse stems like looks like. Oops. Chartreuse color. If Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ, if his eyes is that or that color, that man is a mutant. He's not human. It is a bright ass green, like bright green. Like,
Yeah.
this is like Secret of the Ooze colored green. Like this shit should be radioactive and glow in the dark. Like, is he a mutant? Did he fall into some
Are we
non-disclosure
talking like
agreement?
spring court green?
No, we're talking like violent green. We're talking like it's gonna glow in the dark and you're gonna be able to see him from 5 miles away. It's that
Oh,
fucking
so we're
bright.
we're talking about like White Raven in the club kind of green.
It's like, hold on. Eh, eh. It's like that color green, but make it neon and bright.
So probably some of the colors of the lights at the White Raven.
Yeah, probably. Like this is that's like the interior design of the White Raven. What what how? How? Out of all colors to name somebody's eye color? Chartreuse? Like somebody get
What's
this
he's
bitch a
been
color wheel.
diagnosed with?
I don't know. Somebody get this bitch a color wheel, please. Like, could you not go to Home Depot and look at color samples? Like, just saying, might have been good. Does this woman not do research like at all?
I
This
don't
seems
know.
like some. This seems like somebody who writes books based off of their feelings and thoughts and their opinions, not actual consideration for anything. Like, I know I sound horrible and harsh as hell, but guys, there is a world of needs to do better here. And Verity, just the just the plain fact that there was something in there that literally detailed like that one line. That one line in that book was enough for me to be like, no. Fake you can fake miscarriages just as well as you can fake pregnancies. Somebody please explain to me how women like this book. Somebody please explain it to me. I understand that it's a thriller, but so was Michael Jackson's music. Like, uh, how if you want a thrill, go ride a fucking roller coaster or find you a man that rides a motorcycle. That's always fun. But, uh, but don't there are books that deal with like you've got to admit, I will say this much. H.D. Carlton's books, Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline, both of them deal with very dark subject matter. They're very aggressive. The second book is much more aggressive. It's got fucking teeth. But she covers everything in that book with trigger warnings. And before they were ever published, and when she's released new editions of them, she's made posts talking about what the content is in the books. She takes subject matter that is sensitive or can be triggering severely serious. And that's why this woman, I'm sorry, this bitch right here is the fucking gold standard to me. She fucking literally takes care of her fans, takes care of her characters. This woman legitimately is the fucking gold standard as far as I'm concerned. If you can take the time to put fucking 2 goddamn pages of fucking trigger warnings and resources in both of your books, and then she did a whole fucking live stream when there was another version of Hunting Adeline came out. She did a whole fucking live stream with the numbers and stuff for Rain off to the side. Like, if she can do that, why can't you? You're getting, I don't know, maybe Colleen Hoover's getting paid more per book, but if she is, then she's got no excuse. None. That how? How? Like, I mean, and with her mother, apparently, based off of what's in the thing at the end of this, her mother was somebody that was dealing with DV. If your mom is dealing with DV, why would you write the rep for that in the book that way? Hi, James. Oh, there's a kitty.
Oh,
Hi,
that's
Jib.
Jibs. That's my orange boy. Oh, there he goes.
So you've read the entire book. Give us, like, if you had to explain this book to me, if I'd never touched it, how would you explain it to me? I don't know if you'd recommend it, but how would you explain?
A mind fuck.
I think that's fairly accurate. Like, essentially,
it's especially since you're not going to continue reading. Okay.
Like, I will be honest with you. I know I threatened to burn Crescent City. I threatened to burn Fourth Wing. I've threatened to burn a lot of books. I will never actually burn a book, but will I kick one out of my house? Yes. That one right there, no thank you. And like these, no. I'm done. No. If you cannot do the bare minimum in giving detailed fucking trigger warnings on content that needs it, I have no respect for you. Now, granted, I understand there's this whole debate on whether or not trigger warnings are a thing that actually need to be done, or are we going too strong with the trigger warnings? You know what? Some people don't need them. Some people, like me personally, I need them. If there hadn't been a trigger warning on Hunting Adeline and my ass had walked into that, psychological damage. So hard. I have read a book. I will not name the book or the author, but I have read a book that was an arc, and there were trigger warnings, but there needed to be more, and they needed to be a lot stronger for what content was in that book. And I will forever stand on that as a victim myself. If this is not gonna, if you're writing about victims and you're meant to like be representing those in your book, then you better come correct. That's all I gotta say. What do you have to say, darling? I'm still giggling.
I'm just rereading the letter that's right here towards the end, and This shit that went down.
Like, do you want to go ahead and tell the ending of the book? I'm never going to read it, but go ahead, because I mean, at least we can do that. So
So
what happened?
Verity, Lowen's basically feels like she's going nuts because she's like, I know I'm seeing Verity. I'm seeing her like moving around the house. Like I saw her at the top of the stairs and then she was gone. And then so she's basically bedbound, right?
Okay, but she sees her up and walking around. So what does she think? She thinks she's
Faking
nuts.
it.
Oh, faking it. Oh, is
Well,
she?
I'm not gonna end up telling you
Why?
because I know you're gonna wiki it anyway.
I just going through certain things. I know for a fact that apparently, um, her husband tried to fake her death. Like I can't remember what happened. He choked her to the point of her
Yeah.
going unconscious, and
Mm-hmm.
then drove her in her car and rammed the car into a tree because supposedly she wrote something in one of her scripts that says, "Well, then I guess I'll just go drive my car into a tree."
It's not one of her scripts, it's that manuscript. The
Ooh.
manuscript that she tells of the kind of autobiographical life thing because she's okay. I'm gonna read. Do you mind if I read you the letter?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Dear Jeremy, I hope it's you who finds this letter. If it isn't you, I hope it'll get to you somehow because I have a lot to say. I want to start off with an apology. I'm sure by the time you read this, I'll have left in the middle of the night with crew. The thought of leaving you alone in the home where we shared so many memories together makes me ache for you. We had such a good life with our children, with each other, but we're chronics. We would have known our heartache wouldn't end with Harper's death. After years of being the perfect wife to you, I never expected this career that I love and devote most of my time to would ultimately be what ended us. Our lives were perfect until we somehow flipped into an alternate dimension the day Chasten died. As much as I try to forget where it all started to go wrong, I was cursed with this mind that never forgets a single thing. We were in Manhattan having dinner with my editor, Amanda. You were wearing that thin gray sweater I loved, the one your mother bought you for Christmas. My first novel had just been released, and I signed a new 2-book deal with Pantom, which is why we were there at why we were at that dinner. I was discussing my next novel with Amanda. I don't know if you turned this part of the conversation out, but I'm guessing you did because the writer talk always bored you. I was expressing my concerns to Amanda because I wasn't sure which angle to take with the new book. Should I write something completely different? Or should I stick with the same formula of writing from the villain's point of view that made my first novel so successful? She suggested I stick to the same formula, but she also wanted me to take even more risks with the second book. I told her it was difficult for me to make a voice in my novel sound authentic when it wasn't all at all how I think of my everyday life. I was worried I wouldn't be able to improve my craft with the next book. That's when she told me to try an exercise she learned in grad school called antagonistic journaling. This would have been a great time for you to be paying attention at that dinner, but you were on your phone, probably reading an ebook that wasn't mine. You caught me staring at you, looked up at me, but I just smiled at you. I wasn't mad. I was happy you were there with me and being patient while I received advice from my new editor. You squeezed my leg under the table, and I directed my attention back to Amanda. But my focus was on your hand as it trailed circles around my knee. I couldn't wait to get back to our place that night because it was our first night away from the girls together. But I was also very interested in the advice Amanda was giving me. She said antagonistic journaling was the best way to improve my craft. She said I needed to get into the mind of an evil character by writing journal entries from my own life, things that really happened, but to make my inner dialogue in the journal entry to be the opposite from what I was actually thinking at the time. She told me to start by writing about the day you and I met. She said I should write down what I was wearing, where we were, where we met, and what our conversation was that night, but to make my inner dialogue more sinister than it actually was. It sounded simple, harmless. I'll give you an example from a paragraph I just wrote above. I look over at Jeremy, hoping he's paying attention. He isn't. He's staring down at his fucking phone again. This dinner is a huge deal for me. I realize this isn't Jeremy's scene, these fancy dinners and meetings in Manhattan, but it's not like I forced him to do this all the time. Instead, he's bringing someone else's ebook, being completely disrespectful to this entire conversation. He reads all the time, yet he doesn't feel comfortable reading my books. It's an insult to the highest form. I'm so embarrassed by his audacity that I know I need to mask my embarrassment. If Amanda notices the irritation on my face, she might notice Jeremy's disrespect. Jeremy looks up at me, so I force a smile. I can save my anger for later. I give my attention back to Amanda, hoping she doesn't notice Jeremy's behavior. A few seconds later, Jeremy squeezes my leg, right above my knee, and I stiffen beneath his touch. Most of the time, I crave it. But in this moment, the only thing I crave is a husband who supports my career. And that's how easy it is for a writer to pretend to be someone they aren't. As soon as we got back to our place, I went straight to my laptop and wrote about the first night we met. I pretended my red dress was stolen in my alternate version. I pretended I was there to hopefully fuck rich men, which was absolutely not true. You should know me better than that, Jeremy. I wasn't very good at making myself much of a villain at first. I tried it. The first time I tried it. So I made it a habit of writing down our milestone moments. I wrote about the night you proposed to me, the night I found out I was pregnant, the day I gave birth to the girls. Every time I wrote about a new milestone, I got better and better at being inside the mind of a villain. It was exhilarating, and it helped. It helped immensely, which is why I was able to create such realistic, terrifying characters in my novel. It's why they sold, because I was good at it. By the time I had finished my third novel, I felt I had mastered the craft of writing from a point of view that wasn't at all mine. The exercises had helped me so much, I decided to combine all my journal entries into an autobiography that would be used to teach other authors how to master their craft. I needed to tie the chapters together with an overall storyline so the autobiography was more cohesive. So I pushed the envelope with every scene to make it more jarring, more disturbing. I don't regret writing it because my only intention was to eventually help other writers. But I do regret writing about Harper's death just days after it happened. My mind was in such a dark space, and sometimes as a writer, the only way to clear your mind is to let the darkness spill out onto a keyboard. It was my therapy, no matter how hard that may be for you to understand. Besides, I never thought you would read it. Beyond that first manuscript, you never read anything I wrote. So why? Why'd you choose to read that one?
Wait, time out. Never read anything? Anything that she ever wrote. Nothing.
Nope.
What the fuck? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there are probably some authors that their spouse is just like, please don't make me read what you read. Please don't make me read it. I can't. Like, I'll look at you different. I can understand that, but not even showing the slightest bit of interest, like at all. That's got to be so demoralizing for a writer. You know what this book reminds me of? The Wife. It reminds me of, there's a book called The Wife. I cannot remember who actually wrote it, but it's a movie, and the movie is brilliant. Like, there's a part in like, it has Glenn Close in it in the film, but the book, I'm trying to find who wrote the book. but essentially, like, I'll give you the plot of the movie. So 1992, Joseph Castleman wins the Nobel Prize in Literature, but his wife, Joan, seems strangely unhappy about it. Their adult son, David, who idolizes his father, seeks critique of his first short story, which Joe keeps putting off. The trio flies to Stockholm as Nathaniel Bone, a biographer with a taste for scandal, tries to integrate himself with the Castlemans. Joan's unhappiness worsens as adultation uh, adulation. My brain stopped. Adulation is heaped on Joseph. His attempts to publicly thank her for supporting him embitter her further. So essentially, this is a book. It was written by Meg Wolitzer, and it details a wife that essentially was ghostwriting all of the books that her husband was getting critical acclaim for. Like, everybody gave him all, like, she let him take all of the credit for it, and he cheated on her numerous times. He was one of those, guys that were, like, of the mind of, like, Shakespeare. "I need a muse," that sort of bullshit. And meanwhile, she's writing all of these books, missing out on life with her kids, and basically that's it. That's her whole life, sitting in front of a keyboard. And then at the end of all of this, before he actually is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, she loses it. Like, she's hit her absolute fucking limit. But there's a line in the movie. I don't know if it's in the book, but it's in the movie, and I fucking loved it. It's where Glenn Close is Joan is sitting at this massive banquet table while he's being, awarded and that sort of thing, and he's giving his speech. And um there's the royalty from Stockholm sitting at the table with her. And the husband looks over and he goes, "So what is your profession? What do you do for a living?" She goes, "I'm a kingmaker." And that's essentially what she was. She made him everything that he was. He couldn't write for shit. Like, he was a literature professor that she fell in love with and had an affair with and then ended up marrying. And he couldn't he couldn't write. He couldn't write to save his life. She, on the other hand, could. So she wrote it, they published it under his name, and that's how it went on for, like, the majority of their marriage and their life. But right there at the end of it, he cheated on her one more time. She caught him and then called him on it. Was just like, "Fuck you. I'm done." But that line literally sounds like something that that woman Verity would say if somebody asked you, "So what's your profession?" "I'm a kingmaker." Maybe that's what she was trying to do, something like this book. It seems like she was trying to do something kind of like The Wife, but then add in, like, suspense or something.
Yeah, so essentially, basically, Verity, all the things that you're reading is essentially in those chapters was actually her exercise. And it pissed Jeremy off because he didn't realize that it was an actual exercise.
You couldn't tell the difference? Maybe if you'd read your wife's books, you might be able to tell the difference, you
Yeah,
fucking
right.
idiot.
Yeah, right. And then she even brings up Lowen and things like that too in the letter. Even then she ended up going and dying 7 months later, towards, like, before this letter and everything was read. It has a 7 months later time jump.
Didn't they kill her? 'Cause I whenever I was looking for details on, like, because I knew I wasn't gonna finish reading it, so I looked at the ending. But, like, didn't Lowen and Jeremy kill Verity? Because I there's a spot in there talking about how we just killed her, and I
Yeah,
was just
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, every good memory he had with his wife died right along with her tonight. Her confessions ripped him apart, and
like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I've loved people before, but n no, no. Like, there are maybe 4 people well, 5 people. There's a top 5 that I would go to jail for, and you wanna be on that list, you better be worthy 'cause, like I will say this much, the top 3, like, you especially JL is my number 1. JL has always been my number 1, she will always be my number 1. I would kill for JL. So, don't ever fuck with her unless you want me to show up on your doorstep.
He choked her to death.
Wow. So, let me ask you something.
And Lowen witnessed the whole thing.
Let me ask you
Let me
something.
ask you something.
So,
So
there's nothing with domestic violence or anything. There's you're literally writing subject matter that is triggering at its very core and giving nobody a heads
no.
up. How is this woman published? I don't understand. Like, if this was any other author, you and I both know,
Like I said,
so fast.
mindfuck. This book is a mindfuck.
I will say the
And
sticky notes
not like St. Abby's mindfuck, which is so much better than this.
I'm waiting to get that book. I want that book so bad. It's like tantalizing. I want it so bad. I've seen people reading it and they're just like, this is the imminent, like,
And I love the fact that the author's author name is essentially Stabby.
like I hope at some point in time before I'm dead that they make like Haunting and Hunting Adeline into a live action something, whether it's a movie or a TV series. Personally, I think it'd be better as a TV series, but
Agreed.
because you have dual POV, I think it would be better as a TV series than it would be an actual movie. Like that, I mean, maybe that's something to talk about. Do you think maybe if this book and that book were being made as a TV series, would they be more palatable?
Potentially. Because I feel like this has the pacing to where you could maybe do a similar. You're not familiar with it, obviously, but Shonda Rhimes, who does
Oh, I know
the
Shondaland. Excuse you.
okay. You don't know her other work other than Bridgerton.
No, I do. Thank you very much. I
If they
know.
stylize this along the lines similar to like How to Get Away with Murder, I could maybe see it being a decent show. Because if you were to go into like the depths and detail, like if HBO Max or like one of the bigger name ones would go and do a similar storyline in the sense of like
Scandal. That's the one I know. I know Olivia Pope. I love Olivia Pope.
oh yeah,
Olivia Pope is the character that makes me think like if there was ever an actress that tried to become like president of the United States, it should be Kerry Washington.
yeah,
I would vote so hard. I would campaign for that woman. She is fucking brilliant. And she has
she
some
is.
of the best lines in any show I've ever seen. Like she walks in on Fitz at one point and was like, oh fuck, what is that line? God dang it. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's gonna drive me insane. She confronts him.
I get it. But not anymore. Doesn't do everything that I have to do. Right? Even back in his day, he didn't have to. But he didn't have to do everything that I do. Like literally 100%
I'm trying to find the scene.
As in like no
Come on. Oh my god, I don't know what my family is cooking in there, but Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ, it smells horrible. I can't find it right off the bat, but it basically like the dumbed down version, my dumbed down version of it was she walks in and she goes, "I am not a toy. I am not something for you to play with when you're lonely or bored or horny. I am not a fantasy. If you want me, earn me." That that alone, I was just like,
Yeah.
I was just like, "Sold! I will bow to this woman anytime, any day of the week," because that was just perfect. So, yeah, I know Shondaland. I know what that woman's capable of writing.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
that whole
if
series is just
I feel like if she were to take a hold of it, I'm kind of iffy. But if she had a good team, a good platform with the right amount of money and everything like that, it could have potential to be a pretty decent TV show.
I will say this much. I think if It Ends With Us had been a TV series or Verity was gonna be made into a TV series, if that was the route they were gonna go, give it to her and leave it alone. Colleen Hoover gets hands off the entire fucking thing. Pass it off to Shonda, let her fucking write it and run it the way she knows it needs to be angled and scoped, and stay the fuck away from it. Don't give input, don't try to fucking change things, don't critique it in any way. Just stand back and let the master do her fucking work. Because there are some people who can take writing that's problematic and they can shift it into something that's completely brilliant. And she's one of those people. Yes, I know. As soon as you said Shondaland, I was like Olivia Pope. I was like, I love Olivia Pope. I wish there was a book series with her in it. There's not, but I wish there was. Somebody out there write me a fucking series like tomorrow and I'll buy it.
Yeah.
That there's a moment in one of the I think it's season 1, I think it's like episode 5 or 6 where the redhead that is a DV survivor, Olivia helped her get out of her situation and stuff like that, and she's explaining why they can't, like, be a part of this wife that's a Colombian, like, president, like, he's like mafia or something like that. Basically, he's like military, but mafia, but bad guy, but also DV. So, she, she's explaining why legally they can't get involved in it and they can't give her asylum or try to make it possible for her to get out of this marriage because it could have like national security issues attached to it. And the redhead gets so mad and like throws a bunch of stuff and was like, "You don't get to wake up every day and come in here and decide that just one day you're going to stop being Olivia Pope. You are Olivia fucking Pope. You are always going to be Olivia fucking Pope. So you need to go be Olivia fucking Pope. You helped me. You saved me." And like I was just like, everything about that show is just fucking brilliant. Like it couldn't be better. I will say this much: the chick that plays Millie, the president's wife, I hate her so much. I know it's just the character, but
Melly? Yeah,
yeah,
no, nah. Yeah.
like that pisses me off. But so I guess that's what we got for Verity, guys. If you are brave enough to give it a shot, just be aware that maybe you need to go Google some of your trigger warnings before you get in on that.
Or
But
on any Toho book.
yeah, on anything, just be advised. Like maybe don't, but draw your own conclusions. Everybody has the right to like what they like. And if you do like her writing, we're not saying don't like it. We're not saying we're just giving our opinion on it. And our opinion is our opinion. Everybody's got one. You're welcome to yours. We're welcome to ours. And Miss Hoover, if you ever see this episode and you would like to discuss how and why we have feelings like this, hit us up. we'll have you on the show and we'll have a back and forth. If you wanna have a conversation, let's have a conversation. I mean,
Exactly.
because I got questions. But we will keep you guys up to date on our next Trope TBR episode. We've got a couple of books that we have already set up, and we're slowly working our way down the list. But as soon as we know when we're going to do that episode, I'll make sure to post about it and let you guys see it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit all the little buttons, and do all the
YouTubies, all the TikTok,
go follow the
Instagram,
TikTok,
the
go follow
the link tree, the whole nine.
And we have new merch. I just made a bunch of new merch in the Redbubble site, which is also in the link tree. Go buy it. Or a sticker or something. Go check it out. I worked really hard on it. But until next time, we'll see you guys. Thank you all for coming, and light it up.
Light it up.